Fred, what gets your attention in the story?
Well, I mean, the art is outrageous, but I think this bank account story is more significant. Now, remember that Joe Biden has consistently said he never discussed with his son's business dealings or finances, but now we know he shared a bank account with his son, that he and his son paid each other's bills, that in some instances Joe Biden owed his son money, and that money came into this account from a company called Rosemont Seneca with ties to Russia and China. And we know that Hunter is being investigated for his financial dealings by the FBI. I mean, this is an enormous scandal. The president seems to be in the middle of it.
Well, you know, I think that the press secretary, Jen Psaki, gets very nervous when she's asked any question about Hunter Biden, but she continuously is dismissing reporters on questions on the son. Let's take a listen.
I know this is your favorite topic, but it still is the purview of the gallerist. We still do not know and will not know who purchases any paintings, and the president remains proud of his son.
White House.
Did you have another question on something else? Otherwise, we're going to move on to some other topics. Lots going on in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, surely not her favorite topic. But Fred, the White House seems to not want to answer this question directly. Is the White House responsible for what we're seeing in terms of Hunter Biden's strange art sales and obviously this other question about this possible shared bank account?
Look, the art sales are a huge ethical lapse that Joe Biden has decided to let go forward. No other president would get away with this. Can you imagine what would happen if Donald Trump's children were displaying artwork in the White House and selling it to anonymous donors? I think the New York Times building would blow up. They'd be so angry at this. The outrage would be ridiculous. But, you know, in these emails, there's – oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say there was a time that Mr. Biden was vice president. Then obviously he's president. If they were sharing a bank account and money and things during the time in between those two times, is that a problem, or if it's just on those dumbbell periods when he was VP and president?
Well, you know, it's a huge problem because the American people deserve to know about this in 2020. We know the media deliberately suppressed this information. I'm confident that if just a small percentage of this corruption between Joe Biden and his son was made public, Donald Trump would be president right now. And this is so serious. I think we need a special counsel to look at this because we know foreign actors put money into this joint bank account.
Well, the Democrats control the House and the Senate and the president. We're not holding our breath for that to happen, Fred, for now. True, there is a midterm in there. Fred Fleitz, thank you for joining us.
Good to be here.